I kick things off buying in for $1,000. I think shortly after I add on, the games here are match the stack, so you're able to buy into the deepest stack. But anyway, I open up pocket 8s here in early position, get 2 callers behind. The button decides to 3-bet to 60. So I open 15, 2 callers, button makes it 60, everybody calls, and we take a flop. The flop comes Jack 7-4 with 2 diamonds. We do not have a diamond. It checks the button and he continuation bets for something like 50 or 60% pot. We end up just deciding to make the fold. This is actually a spot I think some players get into trouble with. Basically, even though it is certainly possible we're good, this is a 3-way flop, and if either player behind me has a jack, I'm dead. This is a situation where if 2 people folded and I was the last guy to act, I might consider a defend. But as the first person, my relative position is bad, so we just go ahead and make a tight laydown out of the gate. You know it's early when I'm making the discipline laydowns. Next hand's a PLO bomb pot. If you're not familiar with this game type, there are 2 boards, and the highest hand on each one wins half the pot. Obviously, you're hoping to have hands that do well on both boards. Everyone antes, I think, 15 or 20 bucks. I forgot the ante at this point, and we take a flop with 9 people. I'm just kidding. I think a lot of places know about bomb pots, and they're becoming a lot more popular. Anyway, we have a very pretty hand here pre-flop. Ace, King, 9-5, double suited. Very, very nice hand. We do take a flop, and let's see what it is.
Check.
We flop a wheel on one board and bottom pair on the other, and this is a pretty easy check fold. We do check, and the guy to my left bets something small. I think it was 50 bucks to go. Really, it doesn't matter what any additional action is because we're going to fold to anything. If a player has 6-5, we are completely getting scooped. And even though there is a 5 out there and we have a 5, so it's less likely someone has 6-5, you're still just drawing way too thin to on the other board. And if someone does have 6-5, you're completely dead. This is a pretty easy fold, but just explaining the logic on why you'd want to fold this.
All right, so here we have a classic Texas game. Everyone stands up, and when you win a pot, you can sit down. The last person standing owes everyone a penalty. It's 25 bucks here at 2-5, so healthy penalty. I'm sure we'll get some great hands to vlog.
In this clip, I basically break down what we're going to be doing. I'm also going to blur some faces. I think a good general rule, I'm going to blur people's faces unless I get express consent or they just seem like they're going to be okay with it. Like, for example, Jeremy. Jeremy seems pretty cool with it.
Here it is. That's the board. It was a set of 9s. You can see him there. I lost a lot of my chips.
Next hand is a PLO bomb pot. These do not count for the stand-up game. You're just standing while you're playing them, or you can sit in some tables. We look down at the 6-6-5-3 with 2 diamonds. A pretty shitty hand, but again, a PLO bomb pot, so we're going to be taking a flop. We do flop a set on the Ace-9-6 one, and to be honest with you, I ended up becoming the fish here because I felt like a set was good. I bet the flop, and realistically, this hand's not that strong. You're just dead versus aces or 9s, and then any kind of big draw has a ton of equity. So I'm pretty much just betting because I guess I'm just used to betting sets. I'm totally dead in the other boards. It does not make much sense. I do get a call. The turn comes a 3 of spades on the board. I have a set and a king on the other, so I'm officially dead for the other board. And I still have the 3rd nuts on the Ace-9-6 board. I think when I get a call, I'm actually pretty likely to be ahead on the Ace-9-6 board. I think aces is going to raise quite often. And then I think on the other board, if my opponent is drawing, I can price him out. So I do go ahead and pot the turn. I think that plays actually much better than the flop bet, but alas, who knows. And then we take a river. We take a river. We jammed, or no, we checked. God, this is some real epic Doug vlogging. It's a sideways hand. I don't even know what the cards are. Well, I think it's safe to say at this point that we did not win this pot. Great stuff, guys. My chip's getting chipped away, and we are in for another super high-quality vlog. Next hand, we're back to playing Texas stand-up. As you can see in this hand, some players are already sitting down. I post the straddle. The cutoff calls. The button raises to, I believe, $40. And we look down at in the straddle at King 9. I show my cards at the end because once again I am unable to vlog. But you're just gonna have to believe me. I have King 9. All right, I do end up making the call in the straddle. Seems pretty clear cut. Cutoff calls, and we take a 3-way flop. Flop comes King Jack 3 with 2 diamonds. Pretty nice spot for us. We have King 9 with the King of Diamonds, 9 of Spades. So at a good board. We're happy to see top pair, and the seat has never looked more comfortable. Check over to the cutoff. He decides now to go ahead and lead out $75. Button gets out of the way. I make the call in the big blind. And turn 2 pair with a flush draw. Big turn on the 9 of diamonds. I check, my opponent checks back. River is a queen. I kind of debate going for a little bit of a small value nibble here, but I think that it's probably best to just check. You can maybe small bet, and when you get raised, mix all three options. Sometimes fold, sometimes call, and sometimes rip it in. If you do get raised on, they probably have a 10, and if you have a flush, this is a nice line to take, the small bet to induce a raise to jam. And then you can use some hands like your thinnest value bets with a high diamond as also part of your bluff range because you block flushes. However, the action just goes check, check, and we take it down and take a seat.
Nice. We get to sit down. All right. And we officially have a loser. Everyone's getting paid 25.
Somebody loses the stand-up game as they normally do, and we resume playing normal poker.
Jeremy, whose idea was it to play the Texas stand-up?
Unfortunately, it was mine.
Nice.
I don't think I've won one since I've been here in Texas in the last 6 months, but we're having a great time.
Why do you keep playing them then?
Yep, this is Jeremy. He likes standing. And I have played the stand-up game with Jeremy a bunch. Don't think he's done too well playing it.
I just enjoy standing.
Okay, well, you can stand now. You can continue.
Shouldn't tell me that.
All
Save me some money.
Next hand, I play the 10-8 of hearts, and it's a pretty mundane hand. I win some super small pot. And then, to my surprise, I get a gift from someone. And lately, I've been dieting hard and losing some pounds and feeling great about myself, so I was excited to see when I got a box full of amazingly delicious cookies.
We're going to have some cookies in here. All right. These look good.
I took some of these guys for a spin, but ultimately I had to get that box away from me because, frankly, if it had stayed there, I would have eaten all of them.
I don't know how that's if they're still around.
He makes the call.
I mean, I don't see how you do it here because they were making like 12 to 15, 20 bucks a
Chuck.
What's the best part about them?
Chuck.
You see what all these coloring exciting half for the vlog here. He's always playing 10%.
So much action for the vlog. That's right, Mike. I check it back. I have ace high. Huh? I'm good. All right. Riveting, guys. Riveting hand for the vlog.
The stand-up game is once again on, and we look down at the queen 8 suited in early middle position. Don't know if this is a raise or not, but we do decide to try and sit down, so we raise. The guy behind us calls, and so does the small blind and the big blind. We take a four-way flop, and it comes king, king, 5. 2 hearts, 1 spade. We do flop the backdoor flush draw. I make a small little bet on the flop to try and thin out the herd.
In. In. All right. 3-way to the turn. I'm live commentating this vlog. Check.
Get it, Bones. Get it. What?
Checked back the turn and took a stab at the river. Oh no!
75.
And the
guys.
2 players.
That seat's looking pretty comfy.
Skull Mike makes the call
I lose.
and shows the pair of 5s, which are good.
Whoa!
That's what you get for playing Texas stand-up. You get owned. The action picks up with me looking down at ace-8 offsuit from early position, and I make what it seems like a probably pretty spewy raise from early position. The player to my left makes the call, hopefully not because he can see my cards while I'm vlogging, and so does the straddle. The flop comes king 10-5 with 2 hearts. The straddle checks. We decide to go ahead and bet 75 bucks into 100 here. My thinking is that the ace of hearts is going to be a very strong card to have in this spot, and obviously I can have a lot more strong hands than my opponents, given they're really never going to have kings and are pretty unlikely to have 10s. We bet 75 into 100. The guy to my left calls, and the straddle decides to call as well. The turn is a perfect card. The 6 of hearts peels off. We're now in an amazing spot to get stacked by people that can see our hands because I'm vlogging next to both my opponents. The straddle checks. And now we're going to turn up the heat. We bet 200 bucks to go. And we're looking to fire some rivers if we get a nice brick. The guy to my left thinks it over. Does end up making the fold. The straddle makes the fold. And we take it down, celebrate, and get to sit down.
Sitting down. Look at this comfortable chair, everybody. Look at that. I'm sitting in it. Oh, that's me.
Next hand isn't that interesting, but someone tries to bluff me for a couple of streets. And on the river, they fire 125. I got a pair of 9s. And the problem with this play is that the guy is standing up. So I have a good read on him that he wants to sit down. So I do call, and he's bluffing. And that was a top-notch piece of analysis for me. You guys can learn more at upswingpoker.com. Improve your game today with talented plays like being a goddamn station. I'm good at that one. The next hand we play, the hijack opens. The cutoff 3-bets. It folds to me in the big blind. I look down at aces. Pocket fucking aces. Let's fucking go. I now tune into the hand. It appears that they've raised 35 bucks, maybe something like 125 or so. And we decide to make the price of poker go up with a rather large 4-bet here out of position, making it what appears to be way too much money. What did I make this? What are these sizes? How retired am I? 350? 400.
400. Every time I have something.
Oh no! No!
Both players fold, and I got a thumbnail for my vlog. Sorry, VLODGE. It'll stick eventually.
Ooh. You hate to let someone standing sit, but I don't think I am. All right, you got some action.
Oh, defense!
Two bears, definitely good. Yeah.
Let's go!
All right, another one joins the sitting crew.
Our next hand, we have ace deuce suited, and we open it from mid position. The big blind calls the open, and the straddle comes in for the 3-bet. It's a pretty large 3-bet with the suited ace. Don't love folding here in position, especially as we're now a little bit deeper, and we do decide to make what is a fairly loose call. Small blind decides to come along, and let's take a flop. The flop comes ace 9-4 with 2 hearts. We've got something around $1,500 or so in front of us, with a bunch of money already out there in the middle. It should be about a $550 to $600 pot. The straddle decides to go with a small flop bet, just $135 to go. Definitely no way that we're going to be getting away from that with our top pair. We do decide to make the call on the flop for $140, not $135. And then the small blind thinks it over and puts out a raise. At this point, the straddle calls. We're in quite a predicament here with our top pair. I think that the reality is we're almost always going to be beat. It's unlikely we have the best hand. And even if the small blind is making a move with a flush draw, the big blind's going to have a better ace than us almost always. It's possible he's floating a flush draw too, but in that case, a lot of hearts are dead, and it's more likely the small blind's making a value raise. So we end up getting out of the way. The rest of the hand, the action checks all the way down. The players table their hands. And I'm up against ace queen and ace jack. Big blind had ace jack. Straddle had ace queen. Ace queen is good and takes the pot down. Have to say I don't love the raise from ace jack on the flop 3-way. I think I would mainly be calling. But, you know, it's not terrible. Obviously, you can get some worse hands to call. And if the straddle had folded, I probably would have paid him off. So, again, not the worst play, but I think he overplayed his hand a little bit here. And ace queen line seems fine. The following spot, it folds to us on the button, and we look down at ace king. We open this thing up to 20 bucks to go, and the big blind does make the call. We get a flop of king 10-4, obviously a very good flop for us with top pair, top kicker, and we decide to bet big, going $60. The big blind does make the call, and we take a turn. Turn comes another king, the king of diamonds. We now have 3 of a kind with the top kicker. We are almost certainly good here and looking to pile drive some value. On the turn, we decide to go ahead and bet $100 to go. Big blind thinks it over and makes the call. The river comes an offsuit too, a perfect card for us on the river. He checks once again, and now we decide to go for the value hammer, betting something like 350 bucks on the river. My opponent thinks it over and decides to make the fold. Oh, also, you might have noticed I've got some yellow chips out here because I had to buy back in. That's how it works in poker when you lose money. A little tip for all you new guys out there. We put out a $10 straddle, and the action folds to the button. Skull Mike bumps up to $30, and we get a call in the blinds before looking down at pocket kings, a.k.a. the second most likely hand to be the thumbnail for my vlog. Quick break. Guys, I've seen the data. You like aces more than you like kings, and you like kings more than you like queens. So every one of my vlogs, you're going to see my best hand in the thumbnail. In this case, it's aces. And the only way you're going to see something else is if I like fuck it up and forget to get a clip of it or something, which is unlikely, but also possible. Anyway, the flop comes queen 10 deuce with 2 diamonds. Or is it hearts? No, it's hearts. And we decided to go for a very large flop bet. I think on boards like this, you're probably going to want to have 2 sizes. A larger size with hands like ace, queen, and kings. And a smaller size with hands like sets and aces, weaker queens, some thin bets like jacks, as well as, of course, some bluffs in both ranges. We decide to bomb it here on the flop for about a $500 bet, and our opponent decides to lay it down. Yeah, sometimes you got to go for it when you've got overpairs in the 3-bet pots. Kind of my thing. I know some guys don't do that, but just got to go for it. I'm playing great. Next hand, let's do without commentary. I think you can enjoy it in its entirety.
I thought you were showing me.
You want to check it out?
You gotta activate the
Check.
video.
Heads up.
Check.
Yeah. That's why I turn sideways when I walk through doors. Yeah. I'm just preparing for that way.
100. Can't do it.
Check.
10.
Good. That was a good one for the vlog. How to
Excellent.
play bad and lose.
I had the same hand.
We got a big hand coming up next because this one's got a couple of straddles on. And by a couple, I mean it's 2, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, 160. As we all know, only good things happen when you put out the 16 big blind straddle. Let's take a look at the hand. The guy to my left opens to $350, and I look down at the king jack offsuit. Easy call here. We're facing what is basically a 2.25 big blind open, and we do make the call.
I'm going to call
350.
350.
Let's see a big one.
Defense. Defense.
The flop comes jack 9-5 rainbow. Bingo! We hit top pair second kicker. Check it over to my opponent, and he goes for the small bet. Now here I think we can go with a call, a small raise, or an all-in. But I've been feeling the jams today, and my opponent only has something like, let's just say, $1,400 behind. So we're looking at what's already a pretty large pot, and I decide to wager all of my chips.
Oh, the snap.
Seems bad for me.
What can possibly go wrong here?
I didn't like the snap. I didn't like the snap.
You hate to see the snack.
Snap is never good.
I got a little top pair.
How many times?
Twice as good. Let's go for it. Twice as good. What do you got? Aces. Aces are pretty good right now.
I should have.
He's got the aces. However, we can run this thing twice.
Oh, well, that one looks good for me. Yeah, that's going to be... Oh, come on. How are you going to do that to me? Really?
That's one of my outs. However... Okay, how much is that?
All right. Aces are good. All right.
Next few hands, we blast off with ace 10 and get a fold. And then we manage to take it down pre-flop with the pocket eights. And then the ace king loses to a pair. Nothing too crazy here in the next few. We open the action in this one with ace jack from mid position, and the big blind makes the call. The flop comes ace 7-3 with 2 diamonds. My opponent checks. We check it back. The turn pairs the 7. My opponent checks once again. I'm feeling pretty good about my hand, but don't like what will happen versus a raise, and I check it back. The river is the 9 of diamonds, completing the straights and the flush. It's not too likely he has those hands, as he probably would bet a lot of them on the turn. However, he could have been trapping, he could have been going for the check raise with the draw and gotten there, and he could have just hit a 9. Also, at this point, if I have an 8, I'd feel pretty comfortable value betting. My opponent thinks it over and does decide to bet the river. Now, at this point, I've been punting pretty wildly, and I don't feel like paying out $50 more. There's no way someone would bluff me at in this situation, knowing that I'm completely steamed up, stuck thousands of dollars, I'm playing 1/10 of the stakes that I normally play, and I'm currently vlogging on my phone my action to get hands to show on YouTube. So I make a disciplined and prudent laydown.
Oh, God damn it. We're getting wrecked out here. Jesus.
I'm just getting absolutely buried out here. Buried. Not even laying up a little bit.
That's what we're cashing out here. In for 5, out for this. Yeah, so my table, they didn't do a very good job today, guys. They only got me for 2.8 thousand. It's my best session yet, the Lodge. Yep. In for 5, out for 2.3. Great session, up and up from here. We're cashing out. We're in for 5K today. We're out for, I don't know, less than that. Another losing day at the Lodge. Enjoy that? All right, good day in the stream. Oh, I'm getting dealt. Okay, one hand. Last hand.
Turn on Instagram Live.
Try Instagram Live. All right. No.
Guys, remember, you have to let Doug get out the door.
No. All right. GG's.
After the action of this table wrapped up, I went over to the stream table where I played a tag team cash game, and we had some fun pots went down. I'm actually analyzing one of those in the near future here. If you guys want to see that stream, you can head over and check it out on the Lodge YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below. This has already been going on for long enough, and I'm sick of getting owned. So I'll see you guys again soon. Oh, by the way, if you're in town, Fridays, I have a 5-5-10 game running at the Lodge. Welcome to join that. And the final week of January, which will be coming up real shortly here, we have a full packed schedule of events, including the largest meetup game in Texas history. It's going to be a 2-5 game on Tuesday, the 25th. Mark your calendars. I'll see you guys there. Let's see how many tables we can get going. Peace, everyone.